We are talking about Sinephro, and her new album, Endless. Hello and welcome back. You're with me. I see Snap. Nala is a London-based composer, producer, musician, known for her unique fusion of jazz, ambience, and space. Her debut album, Space 1.8, released in 2021, quickly establishing her as one of the more exciting voices in jazz. Look, I want to be straight up honest here. I'm not the biggest listener of jazz. I do listen to it, but not like I'm not a massive enthusiast, do you know what I mean? So I'm coming into this as like your average listener. The album Space is a meditative exploration of sound, blending the melodies of her harp with modular synths and live instruments from collaborators of the London jazz scene. Seemingly inspired by nature, spiritualism, healing, that kind of thing. Nala seems to want to create these immersive soundscapes that offer peace, introspection, and otherworldly experiences. Her music stands out to me anyway, being jazz as like really immersive. A lot of my joy for the album comes from this atmospheric beauty that she's kind of created. The harp, the modular synths, all the instruments, they just really speak to me. This time joined by Morgan Simpson, the drummer of Black Midi, who is quite remarkable on the drums. I quite like the nuance of jazz drumming. Like, I know it's complex, so I kind of have no idea what's going on, but it sounds great. And it sounds really good on this album anyway. Just like her previous album, every track has the same name, except it's followed by its appearance on the album. In this case, it's Continuum. So starting with Continuum 1, we're introduced to this piece with this arpeggiated synth, which everything after seems to follow and sort of revolve around this one sound, almost acting as a bit of a template. I don't know, something about this album is just really beautiful. Although following a similar style to her previous album, it feels way more cohesive, a bit more precise and intentional, but also flows way more together. The thing is, each track has something really good to offer. On Continuum 2, this swirling high-pitched electronic sound that has you feeling like you're floating following this stream, and then you get this build-up of strings that are just so lush, and then played against these hi-hats and cymbals. It's just so good. Continuum 3 with this like harp loop, and then you have this electronic piano come in, a little unexpected, but I don't know, it just worked really well. There's so much audible goodness happening throughout the album, little bursts of horns, piano, synth swells, and they come in randomly and completely unexpected, taking you on a journey through colourful space. That's kind of how it feels to me. For you it might be different, but I quite like that about this album. It's sort of a different experience for everyone. Some standout tracks for me are Continuum 5 and 6. I feel like you have to listen to these two tracks together. 5 grounding you, almost preparing you for what's coming on Continuum 6. The arc that seems to be running throughout the whole album gets heavier, and then you get the drums building up this energy. There's just a lot to love again. I'm sitting here trying to pick out my standout tracks, and honestly, the more you listen to the album, the more you hear, and there's something to love all over the album. The airiness of Continuum 8 or the sax on 9. What I kind of love is how unpredictable each song is. As minimal and as ambient as everything sounds, there's always just something unexpected that will jump out at you. My only real criticism of the album is that sometimes I zone out. I'm not sure if it's because it feels so meditative or because it often sounds so much like background music. And like, there's nothing really wrong with that. But if I'm being pulled in and out, I don't feel like I'm getting the full experience. This is just kind of like a small complaint though. When I'm giving it my full attention, I am completely immersed in this world. The last track on the album is probably one of my favorites. I mean, it's hard to choose a favorite when the whole album is technically one long piece of music. I just feel like in this song though, the drums and the synths are so chaotic but really expressive. Like you're being kind of woken up from this dreamlike state, and then you're led out with this really nice piano. I think a brilliant way to finish this beautiful piece of music, really. I enjoyed this album thoroughly. As someone who loves electronic music and maybe not a lot of jazz, it was really great to hear the two come together to create something really expressive and full of emotion. I do feel like it's the type of music you've got to sit there and completely immerse yourself in. If you're playing it in the background and things, I think you're going to miss a lot. So yeah, I did find myself drifting in and out on a few of my listens. But when you do really focus on it, it takes you on a journey. And saying all of that, I would give this album an 8.5 out of 10. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed it below. Feel free to subscribe, like, comment, whatever you like. And yeah, I'd love to see you guys on the next one. Thank you very, very much.